Hi guys, so I'm back. I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit more. My phone had died and then I was interrupted, but I wanted to talk to you guys about the experiment with the pepper and how the pepper represented germs. And as you can see here, I'm touching on it. So as you touch things that have germs on it, and you're putting things on your hands, and this is why it's so important to wash. See, I have all of that pepper on my finger. So the pepper represents germs, and when you're touching all over things like doorknobs and toys, like we're at school and you see Miss Bogue and Miss Wissner clean tables and the toys, and we wipe down the phone and the laptop. All of those things have germs on them, and although sometimes some germs are okay, but this is why we ask you guys to wash your hands. So touched all over it, have it on my hand. This is why it's important to wash your hands, because when you wash your hands, get soap, clean them real good. You take it and you kind of wash, and then what you do is put your finger in. And I don't know what happened that time. It didn't really work. Maybe I did something wrong. But once you kind of do it, and then it kind of splatters out or goes away from your finger, that's because when you use soap and water, that's what the germs are doing on your hand. When you're washing your hands and you're using warm water and you're using soap and you're scrubbing and making sure your hands are clean, when you wash them, that's what happens to the germs. They kind of like push away from your clean hands, and they kind of fall in the sink and get washed down the drain. And then you look at your hands, and like my finger doesn't have pepper on it anymore because I use the soap. So that's and then the water from the plate. But that's why it's so important for everyone, and even mommies and daddies. You got to make sure that mommies and daddies and your other brothers and your sisters and whoever, aunts and uncles, grandmas and grandpas, you just got to make sure that everyone is washing their hands, because when you do wash your hands are cleaner, and then you won't have as many germs on your hands anymore, and you won't get sick. That's why a lot of people are getting sick, because they're touching things that are dirty. They're not washing their hands right. They're not cleaning the way they're supposed to clean. So that's why it's important to always keep your hands washed. When you come from outside playing, wash your hands the right way. When you come from touching or petting an animal, make sure your hands are washed. Before and after you eat, make sure your hands are washed, because when you touch all of those things, and you touch your mouth and you touch your face and you touch your hands, and all of that is just putting germs and more germs into your body that your body doesn't need, and that's why we're getting sick. So it's important to wash your hands, and that's kind of the reason why you guys got to stay home for a little while, because a lot of people are getting sick, and it's important, and we're all told to stay inside and making sure you're not going to many places where a lot of people are there, because you don't want to get sick, and you just never know what kind of germs are are everywhere. So that's why it's important to stay at home, because you know your house is clean. You're making sure that you're being clean. We really don't know if McDonald's is clean. We don't know if Burger King is clean. We don't know if Walmart and Food Line are always clean. So that's why it's important to you can go to those stores and get what you need, but make sure you're coming back and you're keeping your body clean. So I kind of just wanted to explain the purpose of that activity. I know it was kind of not as great as you've probably seen, but you can always go on YouTube and look up this same experiment, and it's probably a little bit more fun when you have like little ones in the videos, and I don't have a little one around. So if you would like, go and look up those videos, because you might like those a little bit better, since I'm new to all this stuff. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and just make sure you're washing your hands and keeping your hands away from your face and making sure you're clean. All right.